The KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
All right, let's get to it. Now that I'm in the perfect morning mood for Friday morning, let's get you to the top 5 at 6. This is very important information we're about to share with you. Florence, Oregon Mayor Rob Ward stood the other day before a small crowd at, wait for it, Exploding Whale Memorial Park.
Yes.
That is the name of a park. There was 2 people in whale costumes standing next to him. They have announced officially November of 2024 as the month to memorialize the exploding whale. If this is news to you, this is now a full-fledged holiday. Sunday will be the big day in Florence, Oregon. It goes back to 1970. A dead sperm whale washed upon the shore at Florence, Oregon, and engineers from the Oregon Department of Transportation, because it was too big to move, they decided to blow it up with 20 cases of dynamite.
Yes.
This is a true story. And as you might imagine, huge chunks of blubber flew everywhere.
Yeah, huge success. Here's the audio from the news story.
Well, I'm confident that it'll work. The only thing is we're not sure just exactly how much explosives it'll take to disintegrate this thing so the scavengers, seagulls, and crabs and whatnot can clean it up. Our cameras stopped rolling immediately after the blast. The humor of the entire situation suddenly gave way to a run for survival as huge chunks of whale blubber fell everywhere. A parked car over a quarter of a mile from the blast site was the target of one large chunk. The passenger compartment literally smashed. Everyone on the scene was covered with small particles of dead whale.
Oh, just think how smooth their skin was for weeks, maybe months. That nice whale blubber. I love this. I love this as a holiday. I might have to work this into my holiday season before I become the exploding whale, like on Thanksgiving Day.
People walking around with their limbs on fire, but they can't feel it because that blubber is just like that. It's like you basically human candles.
God, that's humanity at its best, right there. That's the best we can do as human beings.
I don't want to blow up a whale, but I want to let some small ocean community think I'm going to, just to watch the reaction in 2024. In 1970, he goes, the humor quickly gave way to horror. They actually were all like, this is going to be hilarious. Can you imagine if today they were like, well, this dead whale's on the beach, let's just dynamite that sucker. There'd be people chaining themselves to the whale. No!
All the more reason to blow it up.
Bring bulldozers and bury it or something. Or I don't know. Get some drones, pick it up, take it out to sea.
It's going to fall apart.
That's very true.
Let the critters eat it. Come on. It's, you live in Florida. You live on the frickin' coast. It smells like rotten dead whale.
Make it a permanent destination, a tourist attraction.
You know what? It'd be fascinating to see what those whale bones would look like all these years later. What if you had a perfectly just a whale skeleton just sitting there, like you could look like one of those brontosaurus racks of ribs on the Flintstones or something.
Right.
Yeah, come on, man.
What I see is a lot of free fish bait just laying there on your way out. Just cut off some fish bait and on the boat you go.
Anyway, a reminder, if you find yourself near Florence, Oregon this Sunday, it is officially Whale Exploding Day. That's good stuff. Number 4 on your top 5 at 6, Fare Thee Well, Elwood Edwards. We hardly knew ye. Who is Elwood Edwards? Sorry. Play it again. Let me hear that.
Got mail.
There
we go.
There it is. The You Got Mail guy. That's an actual person.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a dude. He the early days of the internet where this guy, he recorded that phrase on a cassette deck in his living room in what year? Take a guess. Ryder.
1912.
No. Just before AOL and the internet really took.
92.
1989.
No way.
That's how far ahead of the curve people were without telling me. 1989, he recorded that. He said he did not receive residuals for his voice work.
What?
Man. Geez, to sue AOL. Wait a minute.
He was given $200. Elwood.
Well, standard fee.
Rest easy, dude. He was 74 years old. I don't know if he had kids, but you know that for a little while there anyway, they were like, hey, that's my dad.
Oh,
Yeah.
Elwood Edwards.
I ended up driving an Uber. This is a gal just freaking out when she realized who he was in an Uber back in 2016.
This is my Uber driver, and he just told me something very special, that he's the voice behind...
Welcome. You've got mail.
You've got mail.
Do it again.
All right, then it just, his life just got sadder and sadder.
Poor
You've
Elwood.
got mail.
But you know what? It's not like she got into her Uber and said, hey, you're not the guy who did the AOL voicing, are you? Something tells me he brought that up.
Oh, yeah.
Number 3 on your top 5 at 6, Bubba Watson, superstar golfer, was playing a week ago in Indonesia at the Indonesian Masters. Bubba Watson hit a hole-in-one during the tournament. Now, I don't care who you are. That's a big moment for any golfer, professional or otherwise. But because of a pledge from a tournament sponsor, that hole-in-one meant that a family in need in that area received a new home.
That's crazy.
That's pretty
A
great.
new house?
Yeah. I mean, hey, man, I guarantee you the sponsor was like, no one's going to hit a hole-in-one. Wait,
Yeah.
They did what now? Sorry?
They have insurance on that stuff, you know.
Oh, they
Yeah.
sure do. Yeah, then there's an insurance guy now going, wait, someone did what now?
Son of a...
Anyway, there was so a family has received a new home. That's pretty great. Bubba said, and then Bubba matched the donation money wise. They figured out what the cost would be. He said the game of golf has helped tremendously around the world for the charity things golf brings to the table. It's special to be a part of that. And check this out. A few minutes later, just 10 minutes later, another golfer who's Indonesian, I guess, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name, hit another hole-in-one. Another house was donated. In 10 minutes, 2 aces, 2 homes donated. Hey, if you're going to be a professional golfer and occasionally hit a hole-in-one for someone else, that's what I say. I hit a hole-in-one once, and the only charity was that I had to go buy everyone at the bar a drink.
Yeah.
A whole different vibe there. Whole different situation. Number 2 on your top 5 at 6. Alex Ovechkin is closing in on Wayne Gretzky's record for career goals. The Washington Capital is probably going to bust it this season. In 12 games, he's already scored 8 goals. He's 34 away from breaking Wayne Gretzky's mark. Alex Ovechkin, dude, he's 20 seasons in, still just ripping the league apart.
Yeah.
Now, that's impressive. You're going to go over Wayne Gretzky's record for goals. You are 1,200 assists short of Wayne Gretzky, however, in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, the goals is the big one, and I know I'm an old man now. I wasn't quite sure. My knees didn't convince me, but now I know I'm an old man because I love to see records broken. But this one, I'm going, no, not the great ones.
Yeah.
Don't. Well-deserved. He'll probably get to his 40 goals this year.
Yeah, sure.
You say he needs 34 more? Yeah.
Yeah, you can take your goals, but again, I just always feel the need. It's so funny the way I feel the need to defend the reputation of what is inarguably the greatest hockey player ever. You're 1,200 assists behind Wayne Gretzky. I just need to say
That's
that
right.
again.
Yeah.
It's like I remember being a kid and thinking that I had to defend Paul McCartney once. You don't understand.
It matters. It's good.
They're going to be okay. I would like to give a quick morning shout out to the town I first called Matomedy. I said, "How do you say this, Matomedy?" And it was like, "No, Matomedi." And because I said it wrong once, it's so hard for me to get things right. I'm really good at 2 things: rambling on incessantly and then mispronouncing words the first time I ever read them. So,
I mean, Montemita is a hard one if you're even from the South Metro to know how to pronounce
man.
it. So.
Motomy is how you say it at 1 o'clock in the morning. Motomy tomorrow.
Matomedi, good morning. I'm sure that you're used to people mispronouncing your name. I just apologize still for almost 2 years ago, just butchering that one, as well as anything I butchered here in the beautiful state of Minnesota.
Yeah.
Number 1 on your, speaking of Minnesota, number 1 on your top 5 at 6. Deer season. The deer opener is upon us. November the 9th. Hey, that's tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the archers have already been out there, of course.
Yeah.
I will wait till November 30th because, if you guys know, I'm a muzzleloader man myself. But for general firearms, tomorrow is the day. I am fascinated by the muzzleloading community out there, that's still going on. But for most of us, I shouldn't say that. I'm not even trying to pretend I'm a hunter, but I'm interested. Tomorrow is the day. Boy, there's some people that are already smelling pretty rough right now, getting excited, getting ready. It's a big It's a big day.
All right, start drinking. Now, with your muzzle loader, don't forget, when you're archery hunting, you go with the camo. Blaze orange for rifle season here. And then for the muzzle loader, you go with the red coat.
Okay.
Get it?
Yeah.
The red coat? No?
Yes. Thanks
So
for the Revolutionary War joke.
Very
Thank
strong.
you. Here's the thing with muzzle loading. My buddy goes out muzzle loading, and he's like, "I got to come out with me." So we go out muzzle loading. Walked around all day long. Did sit in a stand. We were out just tromping through tree strips in northern Minnesota, and we get back and nothing. Didn't see anything to shoot at. He said, "Well, let's shoot that pumpkin off the hay bale." So we put a pumpkin up on a round hay bale. Click. Oh, must have got something wrong there. Your primer must not be. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I would have come up on the buck of my life, and I would have heard click. Click was did not blow the pumpkin to pieces anyway. But good luck. Those muzzle loaders, that's a different kind of hunting. Good for them. I have some deer opener tips for our hunters that we'll share a little bit later on.
When you get a pumpkin, do you still put it on the hood of your car?
A pumpkin? Yes, I mounted it on the hood of my car.
Wait till you see the whites of that pumpkin's eyes, my friend. All right, there's your top 5 at 6. Quick question. Oh, man, Elwood, we hardly knew you, bud. Quick question. Would you rather find a dead person under your bed or a live person under your bed? Hang tight.
Ooh.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
Good Friday morning for November 8th. Here's a poll question for you. Think about it. What would be worse to find under your bed? You wake up in the morning and someone's under there. They're either dead or alive. What would you prefer? What are you taking, Ryder? Dead guy, living guy?
I'm taking the dead body.
No doubt about it, right?
Can't fight back.
I'm assuming it doesn't smell bad yet. I'm assuming you're not going to get brought up for murder charges. It's just a body. You don't know anything about it. You're not guilty of anything. Do you want to find a dead guy under your bed or someone who's alive, Tony Lee?
I'm going to go with the dead.
Yeah.
Makes for a good story.
I'll give you a third option. Flat out extraterrestrial. An alien.
Dead or alive?
A living extraterrestrial.
Oh, of course, choice C.
Assuming he speaks English, and then you can have a conversation.
Shoot a little ET thing going.
I'm right there with the dead guy too. Zepp, are you gonna challenge the status quo, or are you going with the dead guy?
No, I would have. If it was a living person, I would just have to kill him anyway. So let's just skip that step and go right to dead.
Just ignore. Just avoid the middleman steps completely. This was a poll. It was about 49% said alive would be worse. 59% said a person who's dead. I guess if you find a dead person, then maybe you're thinking about that forever. Like, oh my God, remember when that dead guy was under here? But if it's a living person, even if they mean you no harm, I think that's going to be in the moment. Like you said, they can't fight back. They can't, there's just nothing to be done about it other than who put this dead body here. A living person, whatever their reasoning is, I do know this. I mean, it's like, when people talk about self-defense, someone comes into your home, no one is supposed to be under your bed for any reason. There's no good reason to be there. You have every right to put on the steel-toed boot and go to work on them. You know what I mean? Just kick the living snot out of them, at the very least. So, yeah, I would go with the dead guy. Now, the question then becomes, how'd they die? Who put him under there? Then you got to worry about the closet. Well, hang on. Did the person who put the dead guy under my bed, he hiding in the closet?
Right. Now I want to change my answer. Yeah. Okay. Because you're right. There has to be a living, unless they just went under there and died, kind of like dogs wander off into a field and die. Maybe they just wandered into your house and crawled under your bed and died.
What if it's one of the live person is one of your favorite comedians? Think of the fun.
Again, I would have to kill him.
My favorite comedian anymore.
Oh, well, if I could go back in time, if I could roll out of bed and Don Rickles is laying under there fully living and just You call that snoring? I mean, I would just give anything to just have a random encounter at 1 in the morning.
Nice
with Don
pajamas. What are you,
Rickles.
3?
Yeah, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Yeah, Rickles. I'd go Rickles, Carlin, any of the greats, any of the tent poles. Put them under there. That'd be fantastic. Knowing my luck, it'd be Rob Schneider.
No.
Somebody I've never laughed at once.
Steve.
Making copies.
Steve-O, Steven.
A whole career just because he's friends with Adam Sandler. Never understand it in my life.
I've been riding coattails my entire career.
Oh, yeah, but I invited you. It's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we're all in agreement. If you're going to be under our bed, you best be dead. And if Zepp's dead, if you're not already dead, you're going to be dead soon. So
you got to kill someone you find under your bed, don't you?
it's just common sense. It really, because like I said, whatever the reason they give, it's not good enough. You could have been under the couch in the living room. No, you came to the bedroom. That's crossing the line.
I paid good money for those federal home defense rounds for the 9mm.
Damn straight.
Would be nice to use them someday.
You can stream us worldwide. That's right. Wherever your plans take you, you can always stream us at 92kqrs.com. Isn't that nice? It's like a nice comforting warm blanket over your shoulders. Wherever you go on planet Earth, you can find us at 92kqrs.com. It's November 8th. Let's find out what happened on this day back in the day. On this day in 1942, quarterback Parker Hall of the Cleveland Rams went 16 for 25 against the Green Bay Packers in a 30-12 loss. Well, 16 of his passes were caught. The problem was 7 of those were caught by members of the Green Bay Packers. 7 interceptions on only 25 attempts.
Well, hell.
Parker, buddy, it was time to start selling insurance. Or, it was 1942. Maybe it was time to start thinking about the South Pacific and getting on board over there. There are several other people in history who have since thrown 7 interceptions in a game. And, in fact, one gentleman threw 8, but this was the first time anybody went for 7. And Parker Hall, that was a name that rang out for years. Not sure exactly what happened, but, yeah, something tells me he had a desk job shortly thereafter. On this day in 1970, Tom Dempsey of the New Orleans Saints set an NFL record when he kicked a field goal against Detroit from 63 yards out. 2 seconds on the clock. They were down 17-16. And rather than going for a Hail Mary, the Saints said, hey, Tom, get out there. Tom Dempsey was born with no fingers on his right hand, no toes on his right foot. In order to become a kicker, he wore a specially formulated boot that had a flat surface on the end of it. He blasted that thing through. He said he didn't even see the ball. He had bad vision. Didn't even see it go through the uprights. But when he saw the ref signal it was good, they were all very excited. That's just one of those stories as a kid. I remember the grainy footage. Every season they would go, and then Tom Dempsey with his half a foot. They would just talk about it like, Tom Dempsey, the gimp. They would just say things like, it was just so funny. And of course, because he kicked the longest field goal ever, in 1977, the NFL created what they called the Tom Dempsey rule. And it stated, any shoe that is worn by a player with an artificial limb on his kicking leg must have a kicking surface that conforms to that of a normal kicking shoe.
Yeah.
We can't have a gimp setting more records. Who sits around? You know what we got to do? We got to make sure nobody else with half a foot does anything in this league.
Yeah, makes us look bad. I just remember it being the only time you ever saw a New Orleans Saints highlight on TV.
That's exactly
the only time you ever did. Archie Manning threw it. I think an underhand pass once.
Yeah,
They'd show that every once in a while.
Oh, I was going to say Archie Manning was killed on the field 13 times in the same game, and they showed that. But by the way, that record, this happened in 1970. That record stood until 1998 when it was tied by Jason Elam. It took a long time. It wasn't until 2013, that Matt Prater of the Denver Broncos actually beat it with a 64-yarder. The current record holder, Justin Tucker, 3 years ago, kicked a 66-yarder. Good Lord. I imagine just based on the number of young kickers that are just doing great, that's going to fall pretty soon. There will be a 70-yarder within the next few seasons, I bet you anything.
Right.
On this day in 2004, just a couple weeks before Ron Artest tried to fight the entire city of Detroit at a Pistons-Pacers game, he was actually suspended from the team. Why? Because he asked for a break. He said, I need a vacation. And Coach Rick Carlisle said, what do you mean you need a vacation? He said, well, I'm going to put out an album and I need time to promote. This is November. The season had just started. Ron Artest was benched by his coach for 2 days for asking for time off to promote a record. When he charged into the stands 2 weeks later to fight the entire city of Detroit, something tells me nobody on that team was surprised.
Yeah, right. This is why we have mental health days now.
Exactly
Don't forget
right.
to use your mental health days.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. You're listening to the KQ Morning Show. Steve, Zep, Tony, and Ryder on 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. It is Friday, November 8th. Good to have you with us for a Friday morning as the weekend kicks off. We're all aware of the fact that artificial intelligence has taken over the world. ChatGPT was the first sort of app or software that I was hearing about a few years ago. First thing you heard was, well, college kids are writing papers with ChatGPT. What's the world coming to? And then you heard high school kids have got ChatGPT now, too. Who can know what's real? And I had 2 kids in college, and I was like, are you guys using ChatGPT? And they were like, do you really want us to answer that? I was like, no, I don't want to know anything about it.
I love it when you tell it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, man. Your laugh is just a shoulder rub. You know what I mean? Always just feels so calming, and it's just gorgeous. Thank you for that. The ChatGPT. Anyway, if you're unaware, you can enter information into ChatGPT, and it'll just basically say, I need a story. I need 3 paragraphs about Abraham Lincoln. Mention his hat. Mention this. Mention that. Put in a few cliff notes, and then it just writes a paper for you.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But now we're all in trouble because now ChatGPT is being used by people. Couples, men, women, women, couples, people living in homes together. They're using it to help them navigate arguments.
All right, let's just, why don't, instead of getting into an argument, why don't our phones just get into an argument? My ChatGPT against your ChatGPT, and let's go make out. This is what's happening. People, younger couples, they find themselves disagreeing. They enter the details of their argument along with each person's opinion, and the thinking, people are convinced of this. Well, ChatGPT is basically a robot. It'll stay neutral. It'll help determine who's got the stronger case here to be made.
They're like taking it to court.
Pretty much,
yeah. The mediator. Yeah.
So there's a lot of people weighing in on various platforms about this. And one guy wrote, he said, my girlfriend will pause in the middle of a fight. She will go to another room to talk to ChatGPT about it. She comes back with a perfectly well-constructed argument breaking down everything he has said or done. What did she have to leave the room for? Women can already do this. Women are wired for this. That's how they argue. That's why we lose and why we're so confounded. Men need to do this so they can argue on par with women. For example, I opened up my ChatGPT this morning. My wife isn't interested in a threesome. How can I convince her? And then it just goes on. Open communication. Listen to her perspective. Discuss boundaries. Share benefits. No pressure. Get her really, really drunk. No, I just threw that one in there at the end. But my point.
Come up with that?
No, my point being, that's what a guy would come up with, and we'd fail. But and each one of these, by the way, has a very female-like description to it. It explains it out. You might actually be able to talk her into something using ChatGPT because women are AI.
Wow. Wow.
That was real deep.
Jeez, hang on a minute. Yeah, I'm going to put my feet up and ponder that one for a moment.
If you don't believe me, believe my laugh. There it is, boys and girls.
So our gentleman who said his girlfriend comes back with the argument, he said to her, it's not a fair way to fight, and he asked her to stop. She ran that past ChatGPT, and ChatGPT's response was he's just being insecure. So yeah, ChatGPT is a woman. You're right.
Why?
That's pretty incredible. I can tell you this: if I'm in an argument over what to watch, much less anything that matters, if my wife pulled out her phone and said, hang on, give me a second, and started talking to that phone, you want to talk about an escalation of way out of proportion to what the real problem is. I would lose my ever-loving mind. I'm telling you right now. We can be discussing, well, do you want to make some of those tacos or should we just make some spaghetti? And if she goes, hang on, let me see what ChatGPT thinks, that phone's going through a wall.
Yeah.
I got no time for this nonsense, man.
Fight the good fight, Steve.
I try. I mean, I'm not a Luddite, but I'm starting to feel like that it might be the only way forward. Give me a log cabin. Give me a corncob pipe. Put some big, thick wool socks on my feet and get the hell out of my way, man.
Rocking chair.
About time. Yeah. I mean, I'm just think about that. Think about how. And I know for everybody who's thinking, well, it could solve a lot. You remove the emotion, and then you're just left with facts. I was like, well, yeah, but we're not in court.
Yeah.
If I want that, I'll go sue somebody. This is not what life is supposed to be, is it?
No, we're compromising our humanity a bit, I think.
That's what makes it exciting, too. I mean, part of a relationship fun is having the passion to go at it, have a good battle.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you got to go at it before you can go at it.
Well said.
Makeup go at it.
You speak like you've won a couple, Tony. Yeah. Or at least brought it to a draw.
No, it's my anniversary today, as a matter of fact.
What?
Realizing how many lack of victories.
Hold on a minute. We're burying the lead. How many years?
Oh, happy anniversary.
21.
21 years.
How about that?
Your marriage is old enough to drink legally.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice.
That's the plan.
You don't have to tell us what it is, but is there a plan? Are you celebrating 21, or was 20 more of a moment for you?
21 was bigger. Rachel was just out of town. She came back and she's sick, so it'll be.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, well,
I think a box of Kleenex wrapped up nicely will be
Let me ask
really
you,
romantic.
When you said Rachel's sick, why did you do air quotes?
No.
Around the word sick? Did you know you did that?
now see, you're going to send him home to a fight.
Thanks for that.
Oh, my bad. Hey,
I got ChatGPT, so I'm fine.
Yeah. She'll never know what hit her. Hudson, Wisconsin. Good morning, Hudson. What's happening over there?
What up? Quite a bit. It's Stillwater gets all the press over here, and well deserved. But head to old downtown Hudson. Take that left into downtown over there by the Lakefront Park. You got your dive bars, damn good places to eat. Mm-hmm. A couple of good date locations. Check it out.
Very nice. Named for Garth Hudson, the legendary keyboardist of the band.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I love it so much. Anybody that would name a town after Garth Hudson, I'm like, you kidding me? Oh my God, it's like Mecca over there for me. That's a pilgrimage I'll take once a week.
Shape I'm in.
Yeah, don't kid yourself, man. What was I going to say? Oh, this is what I was going to say. We already mentioned this. The Deer opener is tomorrow here in Minnesota, and I got a question, and Zepp, I got a feeling you might help me with this, and I want to ask everybody, please feel free to weigh in on the KQ Talk and Text line, 651-989-ROCK. What's the dumbest thing you or someone you know ever did whilst hunting?
No.
Oh, baby, hang tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line, 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Listen, I get no respect. Yeah, I'm hammered. I'm living on borrowed time, folks. Okay. I'm a deer. Yeah, I'm a deer. And I'll just have another beer. 'Cause I don't know how much longer I'll be here. They say they gotta thin out the pack, so I don't suspect that I'll be back. 'cause here comes another blazer with a gun rack. Yeah, I'm a deer. Yeah, take your best shot, and I'll take another shot, 'cause I don't know how much longer I got. Isn't that right, Bambi? All I want to do is get away from the wife. Hey, you in the orange, maybe I'll take my own life. So on your way to the bar, maybe I'll run in front of your car. Hey, this is from all us 30-point bucks. This sucks. Yeah, you missed me, you son of a...
Wow. Oh, man.
It's in the freezer.
We need that every hour on the hour for the deer opener. That's beautiful, Tony.
Look out for suicidal deer.
Those poor bastards.
Oh, man.
They had a good run this fall. It's been nice. And now that it's getting cold, might as well go ahead and offer yourself up.
Yeah, why not?
The deer opener tomorrow. What we're interested in the dumbest hunting stories you got, either you or someone you know. I am endlessly fascinated by this. I'm listening to the deer's lament, and I'm like, that poor deer doesn't realize who's actually coming out with those guns. Bunch of knuckleheads.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
For every great hunter, there's got to be like 3 guys who are just like, wait, what the hell just happened?
No, I'd say there's more like about 20 guys for every great hunter. Yeah, there's about 20 just screwing up. It's all in my deer hunting tips. But I think the dumbest thing, I've had a few. I brought the wrong ammo along one time. Can't get a .308 round in a 30-06. So I've done some dumb stuff, but I think the dumbest thing we ever did was, so I grew up in South Dakota. You've got East River and West River. East River, just think Minnesota. West River, that's where the West starts. Think Dances with Wolves out there, all prairie. Okay. And that got the Missouri River, just kind of cuts her right there in half. That's your timeline, too. You get over there, that's mountain time in the West River. So when I'm a teenager, we decided to go hunt muleys on the West River side.
What's a muley?
A mule deer is just a deer that is more prevalent out west. You'll find them out in the Rocky Mountain ranges, out west, and they're called mule deer because they got big old ears.
All right,
and it's a different, generally a little bit bigger deer. It's got a different kind of rack. So anyway, we want to go out and hunt some muleys out there in West River, and I just assumed as a teenager it started on the same damn weekend as our whitetail season did in East River, but it was, in fact, a week later. So we're just out there tromping around. Our Blaze Orange got our rifles out, and we're not hiding or anything. We're out hunting. It's opening morning. And then a game warden drives up to us. What are you fellas up to today? Well, we're just out hunting a deer opener, sir. He goes, yeah, that's next weekend, fellas.
Oh, boy.
So that was pretty stupid, but it got dumber and more embarrassing when we went to the bar. Yeah. Because then it's like, well, let's go start drinking. Let's get some breakfast and some bloodies going.
Sure.
It was obvious when we got in there that everyone else had blue jeans on and flannels, and we were clearly all day. We couldn't hide it. They're like, what are you guys doing this weekend? Oh, we're just out scouting for the opener next weekend, just out there crawling around. And son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, sure. You might as well have been so drunk someone Sharpied on your head. This guy doesn't understand how calendars work.
That'll happen at deer camp. For the guy that doesn't get up in the morning, that's my first tip. You put a lot of time and effort into this. You have game trail cameras. You spend a lot of money. But remember, whatever you do, stay up super late tonight. Drink a lot of beer. Do a lot of shots. So you can fight your alarm all morning, making sure you don't even make it to the stand. We refer to that as chronic wasted disease.
Wow.
Out there in the field. Here's what you hear when alarms start going off in the morning. You've been drinking all night. I don't think so. A lot of I don't think so is going off at deer camp.
I was hoping that you were going to tap that story of you guys sitting there at the bar. You're telling people you were out scouting. You look out the window of the bar, and there's like just a ton of muleys out there like, hey, what's up, man?
There always is. The weekend before they do.
They know what day it is, but you didn't.
Yeah, they seem to know, don't they?
651-989-ROCK is the KQ Talk and Text line. You can also post on our Facebook page. You or someone you know, the dumbest stories from hunting. Kelly texted in, my husband was hunting with 4 brothers. They drank all night, probably were still drunk. One shot at a pheasant right by him, and a spray of pellets went in his cheek.
Oh, yeah.
He told me it was branches, but apparently no. They were pulling pellets out of his cheek. And that makes me think, you always hear about fishing tales, Fisher, the whopper that just got away. Got to be no shortage of hunting tales as well. Not so much about I almost got this, huge buck, but more, no, that's not, no, I didn't get shot. No, I fell out of the stand. No, that's not a gunshot.
Oh, you're not a bird hunter if you haven't been pelted with some
right.
BBs. Oh, yeah, it happens. I've caught them. We've all caught them.
Oh, my gosh.
Guys out there just pray and spray, we call it. Those guys that just start pulling the trigger,
On the KQ Facebook post, Bob wrote, forgot bullets back at the cabin. It was a mile walk back.
Son of a...
To which Ryder responded, the special hunter's walk of shame.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It is.
I know a bunch of people have done that. If you've got the longest hunter's walk of shame, we want to hear from you. 651-989-ROCK.
Tim on the Facebook page wrote, a guy I know snuck up on their own snowmobiles and shot them thinking they were moose bedding in the snow.
These guys. Snowmobile.
Now,
these guys.
Oh, my God.
You can't possibly do that sober. I mean, come on. They were hammered.
No, I don't get that. I mean, I've never, ever pulled the trigger on anything that I didn't know exactly what it was. You hear about these hunting accidents out there. If I can be serious for a second, I mean, that's bullshit. When you pull that trigger, a snowmobile for a moose, really? A snowmobile for a freaking moose. All right, good call.
Baby.
Did you throw a big moose hide over it? Is that what you did? When you do make it to the stand in the morning, here's my second tip. Make sure you turn your phone volume down so when you're playing the games on your phone and the deer are walking right under your stand, you don't want to spook them because you'll never see them. Most guys I know sleep in the stand. I know my good buddy Stru just takes a book out. One year he didn't even take his rifle. Said, Stru, you going to bring your rifle? He goes, no, I'm just going to read.
Wow.
Getting a deer is sort of incidental on these things.
Was he reading Jack London or Hemingway?
I know. You know what's true? He probably was. He's a learned man.
Oh, that's fantastic. I like the idea of someone just staring at their phone. I've only got one more chance at this Wordle, and just a family of deer walking by. You don't even notice. You're just so obsessed with. Oh my God! I already used the R. I can't imagine what this word could be.
No, I used to just call it. I'm going out to take my nap now. You go out there in the dark. You're all fired up. Waiting for it to get light. You get all comfortable in your blind there, and then you wake up and it's about 10:30, and you're pretty sure about 8 buck just walked right past you.
Biggest? What's your biggest? What do you call it? A kill? Do you call it a trophy? What do you call it?
I like that. You know what they call it now? They call it harvesting a deer. So but I always forget to plant my fawn in the spring. So I don't know. No, just kill. Killing deer out there. My biggest one is a 13-pointer I got out in West River. That was a muley, and that was a big one. That was a mount right there. And then I got a 10. I got a 5x5 whitetail. And that was the first whitetail I ever shot when I was 12 years old with my uncles. Yeah, so I peaked early.
Yeah, that's the guy every now and again you read about the guy who hit a hole in one his first time golfing, and it's just like, wow, poor bastard, no reason to ever go again.
Yeah, they're so big out there. Conservation out there, hunters and the DNR and game fishing parks and these places have done such a great job with conservation and deer habitat that these buck get so damn big right now. I gotta get back out there, I guess. I like sleeping in and staying warm.
Yeah, no kidding. Pixie wrote on the Facebook page, okay, not dumb, but it was scary. Me and my brother, we were up north at my cousin's cabin. My dad and my mom's cousin went out hunting. We heard a terrible scream coming from the woods. Sounded like a woman being murdered. It was terrible. We heard this scream several times. We went running into the cabin, told my mom and the wife of my mom's cousin, there was a woman being murdered in the woods. And of course, their first reaction, they were freaked out and they said, did you see this happen? No, we just told them we hear screaming over and over and over. Everybody started laughing. It was a lynx. Just a large cat out in the woods in northern Minnesota.
It's shrill. They have the shrill scream. Yeah, it'll scare the bejesus out of you.
I heard a thing called a fisher, or a fisher cat, it can be called. And it's a very small like mammal. Like I remember, I think it's a part of the weasel family or one of those. I was in Western Massachusetts, out in the woods in a cabin probably 5 years ago, and in the middle of the night, sound asleep, I also heard a woman clearly being murdered in the woods, and I was so freaked out. And I went to the door and opened it, and it was as loud, and it was full on just screaming. And then I thought, man, maybe it's actually, it might even be a baby left in the woods. What am I hearing? And I was just totally losing my mind. The next morning, I was playing on these. I was making a record. I was recording an album with this band, and the next morning at the studio, I said, "Man, I heard the craziest screaming." These guys all watched me explain this tale, and they're all just got the same look on their face. And I finally finish, and one of the guys said, his name is Chewy. He goes, "Are you done?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah." Google Fisher cat. That's what I heard.
It's a Fisher cat.
I'm telling you, man. It was the. And they're tiny little guys, too. I mean, I Googled them. They're like these little, they just look like your little buddy. But my God, do they make a racket. Absolutely horrifying.
Jeez, man. Well, I'm glad you didn't wander out into the woods at night trying to find that baby.
I tell you what, I thought about it, and then I realized, no, I'm not the kind of guy to save a baby in the dark woods in the Berkshires. I'm the kind of guy to lay in my bed and freak out and wish I was the kind of guy.
Yeah.
It's just how that goes. My parents own this is Michelle on the text line. My parents owned 10 acres of land my dad would go grouse and pheasant hunting on. I recall a time my dad's 2 dogs retired, brought them home. I went out with him in lieu of the dogs. I did scare up a grouse, and my dad shot it down. However, some of the BBs sprayed my head. Needless to say, my dad got in trouble with my mom when we returned home. Can you imagine?
Bummer.
Oh, that's a Fisher cat right there. Yeah.
Damn.
Weird. Kind of cute.
The one I heard was he wasn't taking so long between yelps. He was just going. And I just thought, and I really did. I'm laying there. I'm in a damn cabin by myself in a snowy Berkshire. It's the most gorgeous setting. It was picturesque as all get out. And I'm like, and of course, this is when the murders start.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought I needed to be on this record.
Oh, my God. Reminds me of the howler monkeys.
Oh, good Lord. Oh, by the way, if you're looking to do some hunting and you find yourself in South Carolina, speaking of howler monkeys, in Beaufort County, South Carolina, right now, 43 monkeys have escaped from a research facility. As of Wednesday night. These are rhesus macaque is what they're called. That's not a euphemism. No, rhesus macaque is the name of this type of primate. They escaped from a company called Alpha Genesis, a business that provides, quote, non-human primate products and bio-research services. All I know what is this. That means these animals are pissed off.
Yeah, probably, and full of God knows what. I mean, we all saw 12 monkeys, right?
Oh, yeah.
You could tell me 43 monkeys are on the loose in South Carolina. What you aren't saying is 43 angry monkeys are on the loose in South Carolina. Yeah. Boy, they are out. The authorities are saying these are young females. They've actually never been used for testing. Sure they haven't. Can you imagine?
In the bioresearch facility.
As easy as it is to freak out any sector of society with a well-timed tweet, can you imagine how freaked out people in Beaufort, South Carolina are right now? They're doing two things. They're either getting their guns out or they're literally looking at their family and going, kids, we got to lock the doors. We got to shut the windows. 43 monkeys on the loose.
Yeah, monkey hunting season out there. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, this is how it starts. How do 43 monkeys get out? This wasn't one of these. It's not one of these radical groups trying to set them free. Kind of, I'm thinking of the movie 12 Monkeys, right? You know,
I think they, well, the monkeys are, of course, it's teamwork. So they just need one hole in the wall. It's not like they all did it themselves. They're just the guys. We're doing this over here
because they've been biologically enhanced. Planet of the Apes, man. This is how it starts.
Morgan Island is off the coast of South Carolina. There is a colony on that island of 3,500 monkeys. It's known locally as Monkey Island. Go figure. This is bizarre. There was a story a couple years ago. There was a traffic accident in rural Pennsylvania. and somebody was driving with 3 monkeys in his car, and they all escaped, and they were on the loose in Pennsylvania for a while. With the story, I was thinking about, like, what if we walked out of here in the morning? Like, we come out in the mornings a lot of times in the spring and fall, and you got geese in our parking lot here at KQ.
There's a bunch of turkeys.
There's geese, there's turkey buzzards or wild turkeys, whatever you call them. What if you walked out and saw just a bunch of monkeys hanging out?
That'd be cool.
That'd be really cool. The only place I've ever seen monkeys in the wild was in the Caribbean. There's an island called Nevis Island. Went there once and played around at golf, and just you'd be standing over your ball and you just hear a screech, and like right over your head there's these little monkeys just staring at you, and they were like, when you're getting ready to golf, the guy's like, just ignore them, they're fine, they're just gonna make noise. And I'm like, wait, I'm playing golf with monkeys, that's kind of cool.
Right as you're about to swing.
An erotic monkey?
You know it, man. But so anyway, in South Carolina, we all wish we were in South Carolina. I would just love, that's all I'm saying. I would love to walk outside and see some monkeys hanging out.
Yeah, you're on your own there.
No?
No, I'm not interested in seeing a monkey. I've seen them. The National Geographic, they're in high definition.
I'm
8K
convinced,
now, by the way.
I'm convinced if any... if I walked out in the parking lot and saw a full-size silverback gorilla, I'm convinced he'd be like, "What's up, Steve?"
Well, you might have seen that over in Como Park, over in St. Paul, once upon a time. I think that big silverback, I forget what his name was.
Oh, Casey.
I think he's dead now. Casey,
I think
he got out
so.
a couple of times. Yeah, just running around the golf course over there in St. Paul.
I think I could have gotten through to him.
He was wearing a polo shirt, popped the collar.
Yeah,
I don't want to. I have no time for bears or lions or tigers. But you put a big ape or a gorilla or an orangutan. You put any of those big old primates in front of me, I'm convinced I can get through to them.
He'll rape you.
Hey man, what's going on? Well, I didn't say he wouldn't. I just said I'd get through to him. All I know is this: he'd remember me. I mean, I just feel like that's a strong possibility. I could be wrong. What do you want me to say here?
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. It's the KQ Morning Show. Steve, Zepp, Tony, and Ryder on Minnesota's Classic Rock 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. Good Friday morning, November the 8th. We are right around the corner from a hockey game that we want to tell you about. This is a hockey game featuring, wait for it, the Minnesota Wild. They will be playing the Dallas Stars, the dreaded Dallas Stars, November the 16th at the XL Energy Center. We got a couple tickets. We want to give them away. So right now, we need 2 callers. We will take 2 callers, 9 and 2, in fact. 651-989-ROCK is the KQ Talk and Text line. Call in. Get yourself ready to play a game, a Friday classic, I'll go ahead and call it, and we'll see if we can't give these tickets away to a deserving listener. And whilst we're getting that set up, would like to take a moment to let our friends know in Crystal, Minnesota, that we're thinking about you this morning.
Oh, I used to play a softball tournament up there, too. What was it? The... Crystal Frolics, is that what it's called? They have a big summer festival up there. Crystal Frolics, and that was a big one. That was a big one.
Good morning, Crystal. I've always been a fan of the word crystal.
Yeah,
that's just one of those words.
I
always try to think it's got to be it's a good name for a band name somewhere. The something crystal, the crystal, the happy crystal nose goblins. I mean something. There's something. So that word just always works for me on some level. So if you're in Crystal, Minnesota, if nothing else, man, I like the way your town sounds. Good word.
That is a good word. By the way, our buddy Donnie from St. Croix Valley Riders sent in a message this morning. Steve likes new band names. Whispering Primate? Oh, because we did the monkey story.
Whispering is an interesting one. The Whispering Primate. Let me know when you find a primate that whispers.
Or a Whispering Crystal.
Ooh, Whispering Crystal Primate. The Primate Crystal Ship. The Crystal Primate.
Coming together.
On. It's going to... We are just days away from a proper band name.
We're a bong hit away from a proper band name.
Exactly what we are. Man, it's Crystal Bong. There it is.
There it is.
Ta-da!
Man, thank you guys for working through this with me. It's been a rough few months. I finally feel like I can exhale now. I can breathe again.
I mean, watching the band name process from the inside, which is my first experience, watching you try to come up with a band name for your new band, is wild. It's wild. I had no idea. I thought it was like the first thing that came out of a guy's mouth. Good enough. Let's do it.
Well, you want it to be, but here's the problem. It's 2024, and Everybody has already used every suggestion. I guarantee you there's a band out there in the world called Whispering Primate somewhere. I promise you it's been used.
Yeah.
You might have to do a little deep search, but somebody's come up with some. It's so hard to find words that have not already been used. So anyway, to your point, it's the hardest part about the writing the songs, recording them, finding the people. It's a breeze. Find the name, man. That's well more than way over half the battle.
Yeah.
So I played a couple gigs in town last year in the area. The Bagmen, right? That's a 3-piece band.
Yeah.
By design, Bagmen is just like a fun thing. When me and my buddies Nick and Luther, when we have time, we never thought it would be a full-time band, anything close to it. But we're good friends. We love to play together. Bagmen, no big deal. I just came out of my mouth one day. I said, hey, all those movies, there's always a Bagman. Let's be Bagmen. And they both went, great, done.
Yeah.
Never thought about it again.
Okay.
This new band of mine, we're hundreds, literally, of suggestions down the road. And we were talking about all of our surnames, like Gorman, Bukovac, Mills, Rucker, all the guys. And we're like, well, maybe there's some words just using the first letters. And then somebody says, like, bug or big. And Mike Mills, bass player, goes, Bagman. Man, what about Bagman? I thought he was joking. And I go, yeah, that's a pretty good name. He goes, yeah, Bagman. That's cool. Like there's always a Bagman. And I looked at him, I go, is this a joke? He goes, no. I mean, do you know of a band called Bagman? I went, yeah, I'm in it already with Luther. He goes, oh, is that the thing with Luther? Oh, no. And I go, yeah. And not only do we have a good name already, we already got a good logo. And then he's like, well, let's just take it. Let's just use it again. I'm like, you can't do that. Of course, now 3 months later, I'm like, maybe we can.
Hey, the T-shirts are already made.
We'll just call our band Les Beatles. LDS. We'll say we're the French. Screw it. It's next to impossible.
The new Beatles.
The new Beatles. That's right.
There you go.
We'll be like the new Zoo Review. So, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, hey, hockey tickets. Let's get back to the order of business here. We got a game to play. Tony, what game are we playing today?
No, we always love playing this.
Little kid or drunk adult, or as I called it once, drunk kid or little adult, which is a whole different game, a very different game.
Intriguing.
We're playing little kid or drunk adult. We got a couple callers ready to rock with us. Who's contestant number 1?
First up is Ellie from St. Paul.
Ellie, good morning.
Morning.
Ellie, give me your favorite band.
I'm going to say Queen.
And I'll accept that answer. Give me your favorite team, any sport.
Minnesota Wild.
All right, you're in the right place.
Stars.
All right, you know how this game works, do you not?
Yep, a little bit.
Okay, well, you're going to hear a clip from someone has chimed in on a story, and you just simply tell us, is it a little kid or a drunk adult?
Okay.
All right, let's rock.
All right, here we go. Ellie, meet Tess.
I had a wardrobe malfunction in a room full of kindergartners.
All right, had a wardrobe malfunction in a room full of kindergartners. But was she a drunk adult or just one of those kindergartners, a little kid?
I'm going to say a drunk adult.
I was a drunk adult.
There you go.
My sister invited me to my niece's first school play. And I had been day drinking. And it was winter and cold where I lived at the time. So when I got to the school that evening, I had on a hoodie. And when I went to take it off, apparently I grabbed more than the hoodie. And everything just came up right in the middle of the auditorium.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go, kids.
Oh, man. Who said the day drinking's not fun for everybody?
I had a lot of those auditorium assemblies. I don't remember that happening. It might have been more interested. Yeah. All right. Off to a great start, Ellie. 1 for 1. Now it's Ricky's turn.
I started a food fight at my grandparents' country club.
All right. He started a food fight at his grandparents' country club. Was he a little kid or a drunk adult?
Little kid.
I was a really drunk adult. It was my 21st birthday, and 3 friends of mine played 36 holes and drank hard the whole time. We stopped in the dining room afterwards. I hit my buddy in the face with my pork chop, and he retaliated by throwing mashed potatoes at me and hit the club president in the face. My grandparents' membership was not renewed, obviously, and at the end of the year, they had to find another club.
Oh, off to a new country club where they don't know your name. Yeah.
What was his name? Spalding? Was his name Spalding?
Spalding?
You'll get nothing like it.
All right. Well, 1 for 2. Batting 500 here. We've got one more for you, Ellie. This is Megan.
I
I super glued my hand to my face.
She super glued her hand to her face as a little kid or a drunk adult, Ellie?
Little kid.
I was a little kid.
Yeah.
I was playing with these action figures, and I guess some got on my hand. I didn't even realize it. And I ended up taking a nap, and I woke up, and my hand was glued to my cheek.
I mean, that happens. Sure, a little kid. Why not? All right, that's a pretty good score right there.
2 out of 3 is real good for this game, Ellie. Very well played. We're going to stick you on hold for a moment. Let's move on to contestant number 2. Who we got?
Hi, Cody from Ramsey.
Cody, good morning.
Good morning.
Cody, give me your favorite band.
Favorite band is Shinedown.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Right. Sound of Madness.
Favorite team, any sport?
Any sport, I have to go with the Vikings.
There you go. All right. All is well in the world of Shinedown and the Vikings today. Let's see if you can beat 2 out of 3 for little kid or drunk adult. Good luck, sir.
All right, Cody, here we go. Angie, right out of the gate.
My mom found me in my snow-covered front yard while I was naked and laying in my own vomit.
Okay, I found her out in the snow. Mom did, naked, covered in vomit. But as a little kid or a drunk adult, Cody?
And you'd hope it was a drunk adult, but I'm going to say a little kid.
Really? All right.
I was a little kid with
Hey!
scarlet fever and a temperature of 105. I had no idea what I was doing. Apparently, I went out into the freezing night, and thank goodness, Mommy found me. Oof.
Mommy found her fever dream out there.
Holy smokes. Naked, cold, and covered in vomit is no way to go through life, young lady. Jeez.
All right, Cody, you get it, man. You swung the other way. I like it. All right. Might not all be that clever. Here we go, Cody. Next up is Clint.
Okay, so I got a good one here. I ran out into the living room naked at a birthday party.
All right, ran out, a lot of nakedness this morning. Ran out into the living room naked at a birthday party. But was he drunk or just a little kid?
Clint sounds like a naked little kid.
I was a drunk adult.
Oh.
Yeah, so we were in college, and my roommate throws this huge party, and I clearly had like maybe one too many, and so like I went to lay down in the bathroom, on the tile because it's nice and cold. It's what you do. And when I woke up, I decided, it's time to take a shower, time to like sober up, and I was thinking like it was the next day, and like everyone left and whatever, but nah, I ran to the laundry room to get a towel, only to walk into a room full of people with the party still going strong.
Yeah, welcome back to the party, Naked Clint.
Very
All
strong.
right. All right, here's your chance to tie it up, Cody. Molly.
I got stopped by security shoplifting a Snickers from Walmart.
Oh, shoplifting a Snickers at Walmart. Security got her. Was she a little kid or was she drunk, Cody?
I'll say she was drunk.
I was a little kid. So, I wanted a candy bar, and my mom told me that I couldn't have it, so I took off running out the door, candy bar in hand.
Yeah, we know how that ended. Security guard nabbed her.
Yeah.
Little kid.
Damn, Cody with a strong start, but boy, this game is always tough. We weren't kidding when we said 2 out of 3 for Ellie was impressive. One of the toughest games you'll get around here. Cody, thanks for playing, brother. Better luck next time. Ellie, you have won tickets to see the Minnesota Wild kick the living snot out of the Dallas Stars November the 16th at the Xcel Energy Center. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah, have fun, Ellie. Appreciate it.
I'm kicking some tail out on the West Coast currently.
Yeah, they are.
I think they got the Ducks tonight, but got her done yesterday against the Sharks.
I was accused of shoplifting on a couple of occasions. My brother Jim picked up at a mall once when he was a high school kid. He for stealing a shirt. He had put it on and then put his jacket on over it and zipped it up and was just going to walk out with the shirt.
The tag was flying.
And the security guard pulled he and his best friend into a side room to grill them. And the funniest thing to all of us was when Jim was recounting recounting the story, and he said, well, it wasn't funny that day. It was tragically the next day. Because my mom got called. She had to go to the mall to bust him out. The whole thing.
Shame.
He didn't get out of it the way he thought. But what he told the guy was, sir, I can't steal. I'm Catholic. And oddly enough, that did not hold water.
I don't have it in me.
Must have been a Lutheran.
Yeah, exactly. I can't steal. I'm Catholic. It's funny because growing up, I just remember thinking, like, I got to remember that if I need it in a pinch sometime, even though it didn't work for him. Yeah, what are you going to do? Hey, are you a responsible and obedient driver? It's not a trick question. Hang tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. That song reminds me of the time I had a urinary tract infection. Well, it's true. I did once, and I was told, drink cranberry juice. Take care of it. And it did. Wasn't it cranberry juice the guy was drinking on the skateboard, or was it grape juice?
Oh, that was cranberry juice.
Yeah. Remember the TikTok video? Was it not?
Yeah, we have Mick Fleetwood here.
It's such a celebration of everything. I've heard you talking about it, and it's so joyous and fun. I just want to say, outside of Fleetwood Mac, we owe you. It's such a great story and so needed. It makes people smile. I'm so happy to be part of it, and congratulations.
It just goes on and on from there, right?
Yeah. So what remind me, it was just a dude on a skateboard posted a video of himself drinking cranberry, ocean spray.
I think we were real deep into staying home at that time.
That's right.
So everybody loved it.
Yeah. And it just blew up and became a thing. That was pretty funny. I met Mick Fleetwood one time. Couldn't have been a nicer fella. Yeah. Easily 3 inches taller than me, which just doesn't happen a lot with rock musicians. I'm 6'3". He's like 6'6" or 6'7". I mean, he's huge. And his wife was lovely, the two of them. And we were chatting, and this is 20 years ago in Los Angeles. And I was touring at the time with a Welsh band called Stereophonics. I was back in L.A., and I went by to I was at the Zildjian cymbal place in L.A. I went to pick up some cymbals, and that's where I met him. And we're just chatting, and he's like, so what are you doing now? And I said, I'm on the road with Stereophonics. And he goes, oh, yeah, good band. And his wife goes, Stereophonics, they don't do that. Oh, God. No, they don't. And I said, what? She goes, oh, no, I was thinking about that awful Have a Nice Day song, but that's someone else. And I was like, no, that's actually Stereophonics. and instead of apologizing, she went, well, I'm sure they're lovely boys and they have other good songs, but I hate that song. I hate that song. And she just,
so British.
Being honest.
But then Mick was like, babe, he was just like, so, like, what are you doing? And I was like, it's not my band. I don't care. But still, it was just one of those moments.
Tusk was a waste of my time.
yeah, right.
Tusk was supposed to be a nickname for Mick's manhood.
Yeah.
That's what it's named after.
Yeah. Wow. He's like 6'8", and it's like, what, 5'10"?
Yeah. Wow.
His wiener?
Holy smokes. Yeah, well, his wife did have that look about her. She seemed pretty well. She was just very content. I'll put it like that.
The cheeky sound of satisfaction.
That's it. She was. They called her Jane. Bury me in a Y-shaped coffin, Fleetwood.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on. I asked this question: do you think of yourself as a responsible and obedient driver? Yes or no, Ryder? Responsible and obedient.
Yes. Post-pandemic, since I got rid of the stick shift, yes, very responsible.
Wait, you got rid of the stick shift?
Well,
why?
Because I couldn't.
How do you shift your car?
Because I couldn't find one anymore, and I'd replaced the clutch like 3 times, and it was just dying out on me.
You're riding that clutch.
I was not riding. I had the car for like 14 years, man. It just wasn't doing it.
Okay.
Don't get defensive. You're defensive.
Okay. Sorry, man. That's
No, she's probably heard that from her dad. It's a dad. You're riding the clutch. Yeah. You're burning the clutch out.
From every dude that I know, and I was like, man, you're driving a Toyota Camry. Stop talking.
I believe the name Nathan Thurm comes to mind.
Yeah.
I'm not being defensive. You're being defensive.
Oh, what a great character.
So has you somehow become a more obedient driver, though, is the question. Now that you're driving an automatic.
Now that I'm driving a boring sedan, yes. Because there's nothing to prove.
Oh, I get it. Okay, I was missing the point there. Tony, responsible and obedient?
Responsible, yeah. Obedient, I don't know.
Okay.
can be
No,
kind
I'm
of mental.
vibing with that. That's me 100%. Zepp, where are you falling in on this?
Mostly obedient these days. The system got me. The man won after, $600 a month in car insurance and a couple of dozen tickets and I don't know how many accidents. I finally went, I think I'm just going to sit back and smell the exhaust and relax a little bit.
Yeah. I forgot about the. I went so long without a ticket, and then got one, and it was like, what do you mean my insurance went up by like? It wasn't much, but it was enough to make me go, oh wait, hold on, crap.
Yeah,
I gotta be cool with that.
When it's more than your car payment or your truck payment, it's an issue.
Yeah, I imagine that would be
big issue.
Holy smokes! So I'm asking because 57% of Americans in a poll said they are responsible and obedient drivers. I'm right there with Tony. I'm responsible, but I'm not obedient. I will keep going as the light turns red at times. When I'm on the highway, I'm not paying. I'm very much paying attention to the speed limit, and I'm very much aware of how much over it I'm generally going. I'm not a great obedient driver. You know what I am? I'm a douchebag. I think I'm a better driver than you. I will just complain. I think I'm the better driver in just about any situation, and whether I am or not, I'll never know. I haven't caused any crashes, I know that, but but if I'm on the road, a couple months ago we all drove up to Brainerd and I was on my way there and there was a couple moments where I'm like, look at these idiots driving, and I know for a fact they're like, look at that idiot driving that car. That's just what we do. But I wish I were better about it, and I don't go road rage the way, like 26% of people in this poll said, they suffer from road rage at times. I don't do anything about it. Like if somebody cuts me off, I will never then go around them to cut them off. I don't try to get, retribution on the road, but I will, in my car, in the privacy of my own vehicle, I will cuss you up a blue streak. I mean, I will just be so mad. Right. I'm the guy going, go! At a right on red situation and there's no one coming. And occasionally, I won't lay on the horn. I'll give it the beep. And then if somebody flips me off, I'll just wave and smile, like a good old-fashioned passive-aggressive guy. But man, I will admit, and it's embarrassing, there are times when I do want to just rear end somebody. I just want to smash into their car. And I feel it, and I think to myself, it would feel so good. It would feel so good to destroy my car right now.
If you were driving a semi. Only.
Yeah, okay, they get out of your way. George Carlin has a great bit. I don't have it at my fingertips where he talks about that. He's like, I'm just going to go rent a car and just start running into these sons of bitches, pay the $500 deductible, and F it.
Yep.
Get yourself an old beater and just go out and ram it. But, there are consequences, and better off not. But do you road rage when other people are in the car, Rosemary, friends, that kind of thing?
It's not as much. I do. I will on occasion. I'll definitely chirp. But when I'm by myself, I think I can just tell you, no question about it. I'm yelling at people more often when I'm alone. When someone's there, it's real easy to recognize. Oh, I'm just a total asshole.
Yeah, everybody gets real quiet, and you just kill the vibe. Yeah.
I do have a very common experience in my daily life and moving around. I find myself heading north on 35W on a regular basis, and as I approach the split, the 94 split, it is. I mean, and by the way, I first went through this the first time me and Rosemary flew to Minneapolis 2 years ago this month to come scout it out and see if we were going to make this move. Driving in from the airport the first day, while it was snowing. And I'm coming up on that split. The first time I experienced it, and I'm just like, because we weren't coming here, we were going into town to a hotel, and as I'm in the left lanes, and I'm like, I got to get over, and it was already backing up, and I immediately start looking for my place to pop in, and because it was snowing, everybody's going a little slower than normal, and I couldn't find the spot, and I'm like, I got to get, come on, someone, hi, and I start getting ready to do that zipper merge, which to me is what you're supposed to do, keep it moving, and I got bounced. I never found the spot because I was a little nervous about the weather. That was a new one. I hadn't driven in a blinding snowstorm in a while. And then everyone else was going, a little casually, cautiously. But I eventually, I wasn't sure how much space I had. It was the first time ever being there. Yeah. And I've been in town for not even, I've been in town 30 minutes and I'm already experiencing this thing that I now deal with on a regular basis. Long story short, I just ended up going to the downtown exits. I didn't go anywhere. I just did not go where I wanted to go at all. And I'm like, that's okay. Let's get to know downtown.
Yeah.
And it's happened a couple times since even though I know what's happening, occasionally I'll see the gap up front. And I am a proponent of the zipper merge. I don't say you get in line the first possible chance. I think it moves quicker if everybody's zippering. Mm-hmm. But I've had a couple times where I had to punt. I'm like, you know what, screw it. I'll just cross one of the other bridges.
I will just merge. I don't check my mirrors. I'm like, if you got a brake, I know you got a brake on that thing, and you better tap it or else I'm going to take your front end off. And just because, you know what you see when you see people that won't let you merge in, that won't let you zipper? That's called unhappiness. Yeah. That's called discontent. Yeah. That's called I've made some mistakes. I'm in a rut. I can't get out of it. I'm in too much debt. I can't get a raise. She won't listen to an effing thing I'm saying. My kids hate my guts. That's what that is. Because the person driving along going, life's pretty good. I think I got things squared away. Finances are all right. The mama and I had a little fun time this morning. Yeah, sure. Get on in there, buddy. Come on. Let's get to work. That's called happiness. That's unhappiness when they don't let you merge. I feel for those people. I'm like, man, I hope it gets better for you somehow, somewhere, some way.
Well, I've been reprimanded by an MDOT spokesperson named Ann Meyer, who was asked about that very spot, the 35W North merge. You don't want to end up on 94. You don't want the downtown exits. Do you get over? What do you do? And she said a zipper merge is recommended when two separate lanes of traffic come together, but that's not what's happening where we're talking about. It's not illegal to do the zipper there, but you're creating possibly an unsafe situation for the lane you're merging into. She said you got to take into factor speed, amount of traffic, other drivers, etc. All that seems like common sense, but I'm just now realizing that maybe the zipper merge isn't really appropriate for that place. I'm not going to change a thing about how I approach it the next time. I'm just saying, yes, I'm aware. And to you, spokesperson Ann Meyer, back off.
Yeah, and let's, speaking of MnDOT, looking right at you, now it's not Ann's problem, but a long time ago when the city planners put this whole deal together, they didn't put it together for 4.5 million people. No. This is one of the more screwed up, and lifers here will tell you that it's just, that whole crosstown thing, it's got a little bit better now that they've widened it, I guess it has, but yeah, traffic around here is especially a bitch.
I will say, and I didn't want to be the guy who came into town and told you guys how crazy all these highways are. So I kept pretty quiet for the first year. And then finally, when I heard enough locals bitching, I was like, I'm so glad you guys are aware of the fact that we live in hell when it comes to the highway system around here. Yeah. It's nuts, man. I'm still forever getting, I'm trying to get over to my exit ramp, but then there's an on-ramp that I have to let them merge in, and then I get over, and then I get bounced in the wrong lane, and then I don't know, man. I'm always confused. All I think to myself is, how did anybody show up here in 20 years ago without GPS and get anywhere? Oh my God. Oh my God.
I think that's why we just have so many suburbs around here. They didn't. They just went, just go further. Just go further. Keep going. Stop here. We're building. It's like the old prairie days. We're building a sod house here. And we're gonna call it Eden Prairie.
Oh, my God. That's exactly what it was. You're right. Thank you for clarifying. Hey, the Eagles have added more shows in 2025. Their residency at the Sphere in Las Vegas is being extended. You could be there. Score a trip for two. That includes flights, a 2-night stay at the Venetian Resort Las Vegas, and tickets to the concert, plus a VIP experience package. Text the national keyword LIMIT, as in take it to the limit. Text that to 95819 right now for a chance to win. How about the top 5 at 9 coming up? Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. You're listening to the KQ Morning Show. Steve, Zep, Tony, and Ryder. on 92 KQRS.
Friday, November the 8th. Good morning, one and all. Before we give you your top 5 at 9, Zepp, what's on your mind?
Yeah. Thank you. I'm all ready to go here with it. Marine Corps birthday bash at Paulie's Pub and Grill happening in St. Paul this Sunday, 4 o'clock. So Let me see if I can get this right here. We got this from the commander himself. Going to happen at Paulie's Pub and Grill this Sunday, starting at 1600 hours. Endex's bar closed. Everyone's welcome. All Marines, corpsmen, significant others, any other folks that love the Marines and want to help them celebrate their birthday. No need to RSVP. Just show up at Paulie's over there in St. Paul this Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock and expect a damn good time.
Right on. Semper Fi, man. As the son of a very proud U.S. Marine, I say right on. Happy birthday, U.S. Marine Corps.
Hot damn, yeah.
Man, very, very strong. Well, let's get to it then. Your top 5 at 9 for Friday, November 8th. Sunday, there's something else going on Sunday besides the Marine reunion, and that is Exploding Whale Day. That's right. In Florence, Oregon, Sunday will be officially recognized as Exploding Whale Day in a ceremony at Exploding Whale Memorial Park. This was designated earlier this week. That's right, Exploding Whale Memorial Park. If you're wondering what the hell that means, it means exactly what it sounds like, because a whale exploded at this site back in 1970. It all goes back to November 12th. Engineers from the Oregon Department of Transportation, of all people, were called in to deal with the problem that a dead sperm whale had beached himself. A giant whale on the beach. How do you get rid of a whale carcass? Well, you don't helicopter it out. It'll fall apart, according to Ryder, whale expert.
Yeah, that seems logical.
You don't take it back out to sea because it'll just float back up again. And so, again, the Oregon Department of Transportation decided in 1970, we'll just put 20 cases of dynamite all around and inside the whale, and we'll just blow it to smithereens.
Brilliant.
And, of course, local news was on the scene. This is real local news coverage from 54 years ago.
Well, I'm confident that it'll work. The only thing is we're not sure just exactly how much explosives it'll take to disintegrate this thing so the scavengers, seagulls, and crabs and whatnot can clean it up.
The best.
Our camera stopped rolling immediately after the blast. The humor of the entire situation suddenly gave way to a run for survival as huge chunks of whale blubber fell everywhere. A parked car over a quarter of a mile from the blast site was the target of one large chunk. The passenger compartment literally smashed. Everyone on the scene was covered with small particles of dead whale.
Oh, man.
Fight for survival.
I love the fact that he finishes that story with dead whale. He threw the H in there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The humor of the entire situation suddenly gave way to a run for survival. We're not talking, this ain't Mount St. Helens. No. This is a whale being blasted to bits on a beach. This is still one of the most insane things ever. And I just love that someone had the idea, and I love that no one stopped that someone from doing this. And now, yes, a park is named Exploding Whale Memorial Park.
They got to have a piece of whale blubber in there, like encased in some sort of silicone or something like that in the park. Something must have survived some little bit of the whale.
I would think so.
Yeah, by the way, if you haven't checked out the video yourself, you've got to when you get a moment. You'll easily find it on YouTube. Exploding Whale ought to get the search done.
The local TV guy you just heard explain that, the guy who said the humor of the entire situation, his name was Paul Lindman. He is still alive.
Really?
And yes, and every so often a whale will wash up on the Oregon coast, and he said his inbox explodes every time. He still very much has niche celebrity status.
Nice.
Niche, if you will. He is very much a man that people in Oregon go to. We've got a whale on the beach. Get Lindman on the phone. It's absolutely fantastic. You haven't lived until you have run for your life from flying, flaming whale blubber. Good Lord. Number 4 on your top 5 at 9, Elwood, Elwood Edwards is gone. He died at the age of 74. Elwood Edwards recorded himself saying a few words, very few words, into a cassette deck in his living room in 1989. Not the 90s. 1989, he was hired to record a few phrases. He did so. He was paid $200, and he was never paid again. This is what he recorded.
You've got mail.
That guy. Let me hear that again.
Sure.
Oh,
Elwood.
You've got mail.
I mean, that is just heartwarming to think that was a human being and not some little weird computer gopher that they found. Elwood Edwards, you got mail. He also had the goodbye at the end of when you would sign off on your AOL account.
Goodbye.
$200 for a few minutes of work, and again, never got residuals. How many millions, hundreds of millions of times did somebody hear "You've got mail" from
was
that?
The best thing to hear too, wasn't it? You got
was
so excited.
It was so exciting.
Back then, yeah. Now, if you hear it, you're like, you cringe. Shut the notifications off. This is how well it worked out for him. That $200 turned into an Uber career in 2016, where he was still telling people that they had mail.
This is my Uber driver, and he just told me something very special, that he's the voice behind.
Welcome. You've got mail.
No way!
You know, once before he checked out, though, he said, "Hey, I'm the You've Got Mail guy," and the person went, "Huh? What?
I guarantee it.
Who's that?"
Yeah, some Gen Alpha probably.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I did not get an email address until 2000, the year 2000. That was a little late to the game, but it was an AOL address. And to your point, Tony, when I figured that stuff out, I was in a hotel room and I bought my laptop and I did the thing and I followed it and I plugged in the modem and I connected, and then it popped in, because when you sign up for a new address, AOL will send you some emails to welcome you. And I'm not kidding. I remember the first time I heard that, "You've got mail," and it wasn't someone else. It was my mail. I was like, "Oh man, I have made it!
Oh boy,
I have arrived! I still have a month before I turn 35. I'm gonna make it in this world." That was exciting.
Goodbye.
Con Pops. Con Pops. That was my AOL name.
Con Pops.
CONPOPS. Well, Connell had just been born. Con Pops.
Yeah.
And of course, everybody would be like, "Why are you Corn Pops?" I was like, there's no R. It's Con Pops. It's Con Pops. Damn it! Come on. Yeah. All right, number 3 on your... Anyway, sorry. Rest easy, Elwood. Thank you for your contributions to society. Number 3 on your top 5 at 9. Bubba Walton. Now I'm throwing L's and R's and all sorts of words. Bubba Watson made a hole-in-one Saturday at the Indonesian Masters. Now, it's great for a golfer to get a hole-in-one. I'm sure he felt good about it. But who really felt good about it was the family that hole-in-one bought a house for. There was a combination, there was a publicity charity event tied into the Indonesian Masters with Habitat for Humanity, and a hole-in-one would give a family in need their own home, and Bubba Watson did just that. Then he matched a donation. He said, "Well, what's that house cost? Here's the extra. Give someone else another house."
Nice.
And then 10 minutes later, one of the Indonesian golfers hit a hole-in-one on the same hole. 3 houses to 3 families in 10 minutes.
Well, that's
very
fantastic.
nice.
It is very nice. By the way, this is the crazy part, though. I mean, that's a great story. And so now you got 3 families that were really greatly in need of homes. That's wonderful. But check this out. It was a 154-yard hole, and he hit a pitching wedge. God,
what the hell?
That's like a strong, hard 8-iron for me. Maybe a 7 if I'm feeling stiff. He's hit a pitching wedge, 154. What a
son of a
bastard! It's nuts.
I mean, good for them.
Yeah, come on, man. I mean, glad you got a house, but dude hit a pitching wedge, 154 on a rope.
He's a big hitter.
Yeah, they're all big hitters at that level. Speaking of big hitters, number 2 on your top 5 at 9, Alex, Ovechkin of your Washington Capitals. My man is in his 20th NHL season, and he is 34 goals away from breaking Wayne Gretzky's all-time goal-scoring title for NHL. 894 goals is the record, and Ovi might get there this season. Can he get 34 goals between now and the end of the year? Most likely, because he's on a bit of a tear. He's got 8 in his team's first 12.
Yeah, he can do it. He's had 40 goal seasons. I mean, did he have one last year, I think? Now that I'm thinking about it. But, he can. This record's going down. I don't think he's calling it quits till this record's going down. It's a big one. And I love to see these big records go down. And like I say, I was there. I was watching, man. I was into it when it was happening. But I think, I'm turning the corner to the old man. I'm traveling that path because I don't want to see Gretzky's record fall. I'm like, no, not the great one. He's the great one. That's... but yeah,
the goal score record. The goal score record will probably fall. The scoring record, not even close. Ovechkin is 1,200 assists behind the great one. So Wayne, don't worry. The Wayne Gretzky record of most points ever and hottest daughter ever. Very safe. Totally safe. Let it go, Wayne. No one's even close. Your rear view is wide open, brother. Hey, shout out to our friends in Farmington, Minnesota. Good morning, Farmington. Ryder, you got that sweet smile on your face. You're thinking about you have great memories from Farmington.
Yeah, I got an Uncle Bob in Farmington. I have been
in Farmington.
How long has it been? When's the last time you were just hopped up on goofballs in Farmington?
Last week?
Last week, right?
I have puked in the back alley behind the Uptown Bar.
That's
a long way from Farmington.
Well, if you're wasted enough, it's not far at all. You don't know the difference.
Right. Yeah.
Quick Uber drive.
Farmington. Good morning, Farmington. Number 1 on your top 5 at 9, the deer opener, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go get ourselves some deer, shall we? Shall we? It's happening. Tomorrow is the open. Very, very exciting. I will not be going out until November 30th. I am a muzzle loader from way back. You know me. You know me and my muzzle loaders.
Yeah.
That's not true, but I'm willing to try. I'm totally willing to work with some muzzle loaders on this. But anyway, the woods are going to be full of people tomorrow with beer breath and a lot of indigestion and a whole lot of, is that something? No, damn it.
Yeah, the bars are going to be full tonight, too. And not just, by the way, we used to do some fantastic bar promotions back in the day. I know I was involved in a couple of rowdy ones because the deer hunting widows back home here. Now, a lot of women deer hunt as well, but for the women that stay behind, they like to whoop it up and have a good time. And, there'll be plenty of that happening out at the bar tonight. But, have fun. Don't forget to set that alarm for bright and early there, fellas. You'll hear a lot of, I don't think so. That'll be the call. That's the call going through deer camp. And I don't think so. I don't think so. A lot of that. And then you go out to your deer stand and you fall asleep. Don't forget to buckle in. You don't want to fall out. And one more tip here for you guys, doe urine. You can't have enough doe urine. It really brings in the bucks. They're in rut right now, but I do not recommend what Uncle Frank used to do, and that was he would spike his Lord Coke with doe urine the night before, thinking his pee would attract the bucks in the morning. But
come on.
No, I made that up.
Well, someone's done it. You know someone has.
Someone's thinking about it right now.
Yeah, they are.
I don't know. I doubt it.
Just a heads up to anybody who is going to head out tomorrow. We'll take your stories on Monday. If you got a good one, we'll bring this thing back around on Monday. Make no mistake about it.
Get the KQ Morning Show podcast wherever you listen. 92 KQRS.